Imagine your world, your passion, suddenly ripped away. Jonah. A chess master loses his grip on the game and himself. He asks, "Who am I, if not this?" Discover how a crushing loss becomes an unexpected win as Jonah finds a new purpose. Learn how losing what defines you can reveal who you are truly meant to become.
Jonah had always been the chess master.
His world was a grand chessboard, every moment a move carefully planned toward victory. For years he dominated tournaments and inspired awe with his sharp mind. But one day, everything changed. A nerve injury in his hand made it impossible to grip the pieces with the precision he needed. His carefully built identity shattered, and he found himself lost, questioning his worth.
If I am not a chess player, who am I?
He kept asking. Days turned into weeks. As Jonah sat quietly in a public park, watching others live seemingly simple lives, to him, they were people without purpose or direction. Felt like a king trapped by check, with no escape, no smart moves left. His mind, once his greatest weapon, now felt like a prison. One afternoon, as the sun filtered through the trees, Jonah noticed a small girl sitting on a bench, tears rolling down her cheeks. Her father was beside her, patiently trying to teach her the rules of chess, but frustration clouded her bright eyes. On a gentle impulse, Jonah approached and sat down beside them. He could no longer move the pieces deftly, but he still carried the heart of the game within him. Instead of strategy, Jonah shared stories. He told how the pawn was a brave adventurer stepping forward despite the odds. The knight became a tricky explorer, leaping over obstacles, and the queen transformed into a powerful guardian, protecting the kingdom. The game was no longer a battlefield of war, but a world of imagination and courage. The girl's tears stopped, replaced by wonder. She listened intently as Jonah wove tales around the chessboard, turning anxiety into curiosity. Soon, other children gathered, drawn by the stories and the gentle enthusiasm that Jonah now expressed in place of fierce competition. Every day, Jonah returned to the park, not as a player but as a storyteller and mentor. He discovered within himself a patience and passion he hadn't known before. The mind that once planned moves to win was now a mind that nurtured understanding, creativity, and joy in others. Jonah realized that his true identity was never about moving pieces perfectly. It was about the wisdom and heart behind the game. Losing his champion player role forced him to discover a new path, a path where he became a teacher, a guide, and a friend. His checkmate was not an end. It was an opening to a whole new game. This story reminds us all, especially young people striving to develop themselves, that sometimes losing what we believe defines us can lead to discovering who we are truly becoming. It teaches that our identity is not fixed but ever-growing, shaped by challenge, change, and the courage to embrace new paths. Like Jonah, we can find strength in our minds and hearts to create new stories where once there was only a game.
Jonah continued to meet the children at the park every day. They all loved him and the stories he told.
One of the children, Lily, asked Jonah about his chess tournaments. Jonah smiled sadly and said, "I used to be a chess master, but my hand isn't as strong anymore." Lily frowned and said,
"But you're still a chess master to us. You teach us all the cool stories and strategies."
Jonah's face lit up. He had never thought of it that way before. From that day on, Jonah embraced his new role as a storyteller and mentor, knowing that his true value lay not in winning games, but in inspiring others. And though his hand may never regain its former strength, his heart had grown stronger than ever before. From that day forward, Jonah had an inner knowing that he was on the path to becoming the best version of himself.
He had finally found out what was most important, not who he was, but who he was becoming.